What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Okay, not sure how to introduce this. I'll give it my best. Making its debut on the channel tonight, we have music from the animation series RWBY. Yes, indeed. How about that? Music from the animated series RWBY making its debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity boobity bob, do me a favor. Before you do all those clicks and likes, please watch the whole video first. Okay, give me a chance to earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video is done, if you feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Mason, and this is actually Mason's prioritized request for the month of September for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Mason. I hope you enjoy the show, man. We're going to be checking out, by his request, music from the animated series RWBY, and the title of the piece is Red Like Roses. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. I've heard of RWBY. I've heard of it. I'm aware of its existence, but I've never watched any of the series, guys. I've heard great things about it. I've heard great things. It's an animated series in a Japanese anime style, but it's all computer generated here in the United States. So I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But that's the understanding I have. But I've never seen a single episode. I don't know why. It's never really appealed to me. I don't know if it's a good series or not. If you guys could let me know in the comments, is this something I should be watching? Let me know. I like anime. I do. I've just never gotten around to watching it. So to the best of my knowledge, I've never heard this before. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start watching this and I start listening to this and I suddenly go, "Oh, you kidding me? I do recognize this." I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by a deaf blind man, okay? And the video has 332,390 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. RWBY. I know it's pronounced RWBY, R-W-B-Y, but I know it's pronounced RWBY. Red Like Roses parts 1 and 2. Okay, so there's a part 1 and a part 2. Action AMV. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Rooster Teeth. Isn't Rooster Teeth the same production company that does Deathmatch? Or Death Battle? I'm sorry, not Deathmatch, Death Battle on YouTube. I love that series, by the way. If you guys have never seen those, they got some great death battles, some amazing pair-ups. And I may not always agree with the winner, but I mean, their arguments make sense when they do go into the breakdown of why this person won. So I may not always like it, but it makes sense. I love that series, and if it's the same company, this is going to be good. Anyway, let's start over. Let's keep going here. I'm sorry about that. of opportunities. Like, they have these, and it's happened like 3 times now, where they've had these parts where it comes down and then it starts to build, and you're thinking it's going to come to some sort of an apex, right? It's going to come to some sort of a high point, and instead it just keeps coming right back down again. And that's happened like 3 times. Now, look, if you want to do it once, and you want to pull that swerve once, okay, I see it. But to do that like 3 times in less than 3 minutes, there's only so many times the little boy is going to be able to cry wolf before people start falling, before people stop falling for it. And they're going to start going, nah, ignore it. You know, I'm starting to feel the same way. Like, each time it builds, I'm like, okay, here comes a payoff, right? No. Going right back down again. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm digging this, if I'm being honest with you. It feels misled. It feels misguided. It doesn't really feel like there's any direction other than to continuously pull swerves. And I'm all for swerves. I'm all for a swerve here and there, but when you do 3 of them in less than 3 minutes, no, that's, if the entire song is going to be like this, we're in for a long day. We really are. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's hope that changes.
I couldn't stand another minute. Couldn't bear another day without you in it. All of the joy that I had known for all my life was stripped away from me the minute that you died. To have you in my life was all I ever wanted, but now without you I'm my soul forever haunted. Can't help but feel that I had taken you for granted. No way in hell that I could never comprehend. I wasn't dreaming when they told me you were gone. I was wide awake and feeling that they had to be wrong. How could you leave me when you swore that you would stay? Now
I was getting a little worried. They kept doing those accents. Accent, accent, accent. And then would rest, accent, while the vocals were going on. And I'm sitting there going, it's effective, it's great, it's wonderful, but it would be nice if they moved on at this point. And right as I was like this point, they did move on. They got out of that pattern. So this is what I'm talking about, misguided. When it shifted, it just shifted out of nowhere. Like, there was no buildup. There was no segue. It just literally went from this one part, nice and pretty, nice and subtle, nice and quiet, nice and relaxed, nice and revered, to rock. And it's like, you know, you had these beautiful setups. Why didn't you set up into that rock part? You know, it's just like, I don't know. It feels very misguided. It feels, I hate to say it, but it feels very contrite. And it's just like, you know, I don't understand why it was written in this style when clearly you guys understand how to write buildups. You understand how to arrange buildups. and yet you're putting the Billis in all of the wrong places, using them for all the wrong reasons. I just don't understand why. I don't get it. Anyway, let's keep going here.
It's like a movie, but there's not a happy ending. Every scene fades black and there's no pretending. This little fairy tale doesn't seem to end well. There's a lightning shining armor waving from a spell. I know you didn't plan it. You tried to do what's right, but in the middle of this madness, of course you would come up with an idea. Broken down by anger and by sadness. You feel I left you in a world that's full of madness. Wish I could talk to you if only for a minute. Make you understand the reasons why I did it. I want to tell you that you're all that ever mattered. Want you to know that for eternity I'm shattered. I tried so hard just to protect you, but I failed to. And in a prison of abandonment I jailed you.
When I heard the vocals come in the way they were being utilized, and I heard that instruments dropped out, and I was like, okay, here we go with that part again with the accent hits off of the vocals. I was a little nervous, but then I noticed that the drums were constantly playing, and I was like, that's a nice little variation. And I'll be honest with you, I like it with the drums better than the first time where there were no drums. So I like this version better. I like this part better. The drums help keep it full. The drums help it driving. The drums help it. The drums are keeping it from feeling hollow and empty. As much as I like those accents, and I do like those accents, the drums definitely help add here. They're definitely a very welcome layer. So yeah, not bad at all. Let's keep that going.
I never planned that I would leave you there alone. I was sure that I would see you when I made it back home. And all the times I swore that it would be okay. Now I'm nothing but a liar and you're thrown into the fray. This bedtime story ends with misery ever after. The pages are torn and there's no final chapter. I didn't have a choice. I did what I had to do. I made a sacrifice and forced the biggest sacrifice on you. I know you lived a nightmare. I caused you so much pain. But baby, please don't do what I did. I don't want you to waste your life in vain. Red like roses, with dreams that bind me, always closer to the innocent sadness that is gonna take the place of you. You're not the only one who needed me. I thought you understood. You were the one I needed, and you left me as I always feared you would. I'd change it if I could. It doesn't matter how the petals scatter now. Every nightmare just discloses it's your blood that's red like roses. And no matter what I do, nothing ever takes the place of you. Red like roses, with dreams that bind me, always closer to the innocent sadness that is gonna take the place of you.
Just ends on that you, huh? I have mixed feelings about this. Let me think about it. Man, there's a lot to take in. There are things I like and there are things I don't like. It's probably going to end up being a wash, in all honesty. But let me think about it anyway. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was music from the animated series RWBY, and the title of the song was Red Like Roses. This was a request from Mason, and this was actually Mason's prioritized request for the month of September for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Mason. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. I thought about it, and yeah, I was right. It's gonna be a wash. So I'll explain the things I liked and the things I didn't like after I get it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.6. Yep, 7.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. The songwriting. It's both a blessing and a curse. Okay. There were things I liked. There were things I can't be political about, guys. I didn't like. Okay. The song is catchy as hell. Okay. Maybe not so much the first part, that pretty part, that build up, like the first 2.5 to 3 minutes. Maybe not so much that part. I mean, that part was pretty. Don't get me wrong. It was pretty. It was a nice piece of writing. I would not say it was catchy at all. It was build up. When the song actually kicked in and we went to that kind of rockin' feel, that's when the catchiness really caught on. Absolutely. I mean, if no one had told me what this was for, if no one had told me that this was for an animated series, I guarantee you, upon listening to this, I would have said this song belongs in an anime of some kind. It absolutely does. It's very fitting. I can absolutely see it being used in an anime, and oddly enough, it is. It is catchy as hell. It is portally from a chordal pattern, chordal flow, melodic lines. It is very well done. Okay, it makes perfect sense from a melodic standpoint, from a harmonic standpoint, from a counter melodic standpoint, from a chordal standpoint. It all makes sense. Okay, it was well written from that standpoint. Now, on the flip side, there was no organization in this song whatsoever. This song feels like they took bits and pieces of certain songs and they cut them up and they put them together with some horrible spacing. There were so many gaps, and the purpose of the gaps is unclear, because they would have this build up and then it would pause, there'd be nothing, and then it would come right back in right where it left off again. No dynamic changes, no feel changes. It just came in exactly where it left off. Well, if that's the case, why bother putting the pauses in there for the first place? Why bother? For effect? Wrong effect. It's actually a negative effect. It works against it. You would have been better off just keep letting that train run. The intro kept having these build-ups and these build-ups and these build-ups. Those same build-ups that could have been used far more effectively in the second half to have those grandioso entrances. Would have been great to have had those build-ups. But instead they put all the build-ups in the intro with absolutely zero payoff. And then when you got to the second half, there were no build-ups at all with these grandioso entrances. It just felt completely misdirected. This song had absolutely no direction when it came to entrances and build-ups and swells and dynamic changes and dynamic shifts. There was no rhyme or reason behind it. And to me, it just felt very contrived. It was like, what's the point? You know, are you doing it simply for the purpose of doing it? That's not, in my opinion, that's not good enough. It's not. It needs to have a reason. When you have a build-up and a build and a build and a build and a build and a build, there needs to be that delivery. And there was never a delivery off any of the build-up. On the flip side, like I said, you have these grandiose entrances, these powerful entrances with a pause. No build-up, just, you're already here. They're going to pause, take 2 measures of rest, and then come right back in, right where you left off. What was the point? You might as well just have kept on going. So, it was a wash, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a really good song. It is. It has its moments. It's catchy. It's absolutely catchy. It's got a good drive, good energy, good pulse, but at the same time, the direction of the song, the organization of the song, the arrangement of the song just didn't make any sense whatsoever. There was no continuity. There was no conveyance whatsoever. And I feel like the song missed a lot of marks. It could have had, the song had so much potential, and it just kept coming up to bat and swinging at complete curveballs, completely out of the strike zone. And yet, they were swinging for the fences. I just don't understand. So, 7.6, it's still a really good score. I see a lot of potential in the song. I just think the song needs to be more. I really do. I think it just needs a reorganization. The arrangement needs to be completely rearranged. But other than that, like I said, chordal structure, chordal pattern, melodic lines, harmonic lines, counter melodic lines, they all made sense. And they all sounded good. So, listen, it's a really good score. 7.6 is where we're at. And I honestly don't feel we should go any higher or lower. That is the score I feel this song. So, 7.6, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day. I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.